Hi, I'm Dave Anderson here at the Camera Company, and today I want to show you how easy it is to integrate both Lightroom and Mylio into your photo editing workflow. I've been a Lightroom supporter and user for many years and started using Mylio back in January. What I found is by putting these two together, it makes a very powerful tool for editing photographs. What I do is I initially start by loading my images into Lightroom, as I've been doing all along, and then I make them available in Mylio to finish my editing, also to share with other people, and to back up my photos. So let's get started. I have a picture of a common house finch here, and I'm in the Develop module of Lightroom. So let's do a couple quick edits. First, let's crop. Okay, and then let's do a little bit of an exposure adjustment. I'm going to add about a half a stop. I want to brighten this little finch up a bit. Now that we've done that, we need to make these images available for Mylio to see so that we can continue editing. To do that, let's go back to our library module. In our library module, you can see that I have a folder titled Birds here in the left-hand panel. And what I'm going to do is go up to the metadata and scroll down to Save Metadata to File. We'll just click on that. It's going to ask me if that's really what I want to do. Yes, it is. And I'm going to overwrite the settings that are already there. And now the metadata is going to be available for Mylio to see all the edits we've done in Lightroom, and we can continue editing then in Mylio. So let's go over to the Mylio now. Okay, here we are in Mylio, and what we're going to do is go to Import, and I'm going to scroll down through my import here to Lightroom. It says add an existing Lightroom folder to Mylio without moving it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that. I'm going to go in and now navigate to where that Birds folder is at and say open. Mylio is saying, is this really what you want to do? Sure, we do, so let's go ahead and import it. And now you can see that Birds folder is now available. If we open up, go back to the image we were editing, we can now see that it's cropped, and if we look at our exposure, we added just a little over a half a stop of exposure, just like we did in Lightroom, so now we see it here in Mylio. So now let's go ahead and do a few more things to it. Let's maybe go in and play around with the contrast. We'll add a little bit of contrast, and I'm going to go in and darken my shadows up just a little bit to make our bird stand out more. And for the sake of conversation, let's add a little vibrance and a little saturation. Now that we've done that, what we can do is we can come back up here to our Mylio menu, and under Photo we say Save Metadata to File. When we say Save Metadata to File, what that's going to do is save all the metadata to that little XMP sidecar folder, which shows what we did to edit, so when we get back into Lightroom, those edits will be available for us to continue on editing in Lightroom. So now let's go back over to Lightroom. Okay, here we are in Lightroom again. And now to make those edits we just performed in Mylio available for Lightroom to use, we need to go back up to that metadata. And now what we do is we say, read metadata from file. And it says, do you really want to do this? We say, sure. So we're going to read that metadata from file. Now let's open up our common house finch again. I'm going to go back in the develop mode, and now you can see all those other adjustments that we just made in Mylio are here in Lightroom. You can see where we added the contrast, our vibrance, and our saturation was increased. So what happens is, by just taking that extra step of saving metadata and reading metadata back in, what it allows us to do is, in a simple workflow, is bring all of our images into Lightroom, make them available for Mylio to see. I can sit somewhere in a coffee shop with my iPad and make adjustments. I can make adjustments on my MacBook Air off-site. I can do all sorts of different things, and then when I get back to Lightroom, I can open them back up in Lightroom and continue editing. This is a great solution. It's made me very productive, and I am so happy that Mylio and Lightroom work together. That's the simple way of doing it. If you have questions, as always, don't hesitate to give us a call at the Camera Company. In the meantime, if this tip was helpful, please follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you on the next video.